Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. This quick video, I want to show you my Nike Pegasus 39s after about 500 kilometers, 310 miles of running use. So I bought these like 11 months ago just for the purpose of running. So I don't really wear them any other time. I think like one day out of that whole almost year, I wore them throughout the day for some reason. I just had to. I think I did a run, ended up not being back home, so I had to wear them for the day, but mostly they're just running, maybe just, 1 kilometer back, walking back after a run or something like that, but 99% just running. And usually the running is like 5K, honestly. I do a lot of 5K runs, but sometimes 10. I think the most I did was like 18 once. So anyway, I wanted to let you know about, what I thought about them after, using them so much. First of all, the price I should mention. I got a great deal on these. Normally they're like 120, 130 bucks, but I got them on discount for $62. Picked them up at the Nike store. Actually, I have a whole video about that if you want to check it out. It was like double discount, stuff like that. But yeah, really great deal. And by the way, I can't seem to find them for that price anyway. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But I guess I should start off with like the fit. So the fit for me was okay. Generally, Nikes happen to fit my feet quite well. I've always had very flat feet and fallen arches and all that stuff. So initially they were doing good. Then I started having some shin splints. I ended up putting in some super feet insoles, which I don't have in here now. These are the original insoles again. I can just show you what they look like and what it looks like underneath. These are just the stock ones that the shoe came with. There's very little support. So I traded them out for the super feet, and that seemed to help. Up until just today, I had the super feet insoles in there, but now they're migrated to my new shoes, which I'll talk about at the end. So anyway, yeah, the fit, it started off kind of good, then I kind of had some pain. Then I tried some ASIC Nimbus 25s. Those are way worse. So I came back to these and ended up not getting new shoes. I just kept running on these. But overall, the fit worked okay. I still do suffer sometimes from shin splints if I just do too much volume, basically, or if I try to go too fast. But other than that, just the feeling of the fit, these are great. They fit like a glove. I like the way they feel. And that's why, even though they're done now in terms of their running duty, I'll still use these as walking shoes for a while longer, as long as I can get away with, because they're super comfortable. So next thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is the wear. Oh, and one more thing about the fit, excuse me, is when I went with these super feet insoles, not these ones, but the ones that I was using, that increased the height of the heel slightly. And so then I had to do, I think, what's called a runner's knot, which is one of these, which is using this this eyelet up here. Doing that did lock my heel down. So it's a little bit tricky. It's been a little bit tricky for me getting the lacing just right. And I do have to fool with it occasionally, like once a month, once every second month. I may have to tighten it up a little bit. And I'm pretty sensitive to that. So anyway, other than that, everything was fine with the fit. I do wish, I'm just looking at these laces, that they had some kind of lace tie down up here somewhere, like some shoes do, because they do just flop around. Anyway, oh, and another thing about the fit is I usually just left them laced because I didn't want to have to deal with getting this lacing just right every time. I do have a shoehorn, so I'd use my shoehorn to get my foot in without, too much drama getting the shoe on. Next thing I wanted to talk about is the wear. So I didn't actually notice that they were wearing on the tops too much until just now, but I do see like up here, it's actually worn through the original fabric. As you can see, I noticed just now back here in the heel. See if we can zoom in on that. Yeah, there's a bit of wear there. It's nothing I noticed while using them. This side doesn't have it, so it's something to do with my feet, I guess. Same thing up on this left shoe, some wear right there. I don't know really what's causing that, perhaps the tongue itself. But just to let you know, on the tops, after nearly a year of use and 500 kilometers of running, they will have some wear, which isn't surprising. I will say though, on this top area, yeah, they're dirty now because I haven't washed them in a while, but it honestly looks almost like brand new. If you wash this up, there's no snags, there's no nothing. And really, when I wash these shoes up, like if I were to wash them today, they would look good. They would look, the white would still look bright white. They would look almost like new shoes, minus those small wear points that you barely see. So that's what I'm happy about. So even though these aren't like a color I would normally wear out, um, the cool thing is if you do get a color you want, like just a black or whatever style you like, after you're done running, you wash these up and they still look like new shoes almost after a year. So that's a pretty good value point. But the big point about the wear, which is always, I think, the thing that ends up killing running shoes, it's never the tops or anything or the inside. It's always, of course, the bottom. So let's turn to the bottom here. As you can see, these actually, okay, like I said, I have 500 kilometers on them, over 300 miles. And I know that because I record all my runs on Strava, and it actually sent me an email saying, hey, time for new shoes. And it is. And in fact, it's already been probably for a while because it's not only chewed through the rubber, but started chewing into the foam. And I wouldn't say that's been like that for very long. So realistically, I would say these shoes, for me, the way my foot, handles them, they're probably like 450 kilometer, maybe whatever that comes out to be, 280 mile shoes. This side isn't quite worn through yet, so that just speaks to my, my running style not being quite correct. Maybe being heavier, obviously heavier on what is the left shoe. So, but it is what it is. So it looks like in this area, I'm I'm pushing more weight and more pressure right on the outside front. And I think that is because my fallen arches, I tend to compensate for that. So I put more weight on the outside and I guess the front. And same thing here. It is the same thing on this side, but it's less pronounced. So it is way more worn out here than it is up here, for instance. But I think everybody, whether it's your heel that you go heavy on or the inside that you go heavy on, somewhere most people probably go heavy somewhere. So you're going to get probably a wear spot. If mine wasn't here, it would have been up here. So, basically what I'm saying is probably most people aren't going to get more than 300 miles or 500 kilometers out of these shoes. So that was the main thing. Otherwise, they're really fine. The stiffness and all that seems exactly the same as it always has when I first bought them. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the wear. They're a bit worn right now, mainly just the sole. Otherwise, I would obviously keep running on them. But overall, I guess here's what I'll say about the shoes. Overall, I really like them. I'm a big Pegasus fan, so big in fact, I ended up getting another pair. So this is the 39. My replacement for these are 40s. And I was going to talk about that a little bit. Here's my 40s. I haven't walked in them really at all. I just put them on just to try them on, but I haven't gone anywhere in them. In fact, they still have there. I put the cardboard thing is still in there and everything. Anyway, yeah, I went with the 40s. They're brand new. They're almost exactly the same. Very little difference when you look at like the right shoe versus the right shoe. It's basically exactly the same shoe, the same back end, almost exactly the same back end, same front end. Everything's basically the same. I mean, they changed the mesh a little bit. They kind of went with a different mesh pattern. I can see that, but the sole looks the same. I actually, to be honest, I liked the 39s, the style better. I think I like those little, those drawstrings or whatever you call them, paracords inside that kind of you can see through them. And this mesh, to me, just looks a little more modern. This one almost looks like something from the early 2000s. And they did something a little bit different with the eyelets, I see as well. There's something different there going on. But, whatever. I'm pretty confident these are going to be just as good as the 39s. So I'm looking forward to running in them. Now, I mentioned about these. I got a great deal on these. I couldn't find such a deal on my 40s, and it's probably just a matter of waiting because Nike does all kinds of sales. I bought these on Nike.com. They're always doing sales and stuff, and I bought these like in November or December last year. So maybe if I were to wait a little longer, I could have got these, but I really needed. I'm doing running all the time, and these are I've been having some issues with my feet again, and I wondered if it was because these are past time to be changed. So I said, okay, I gotta bite the bullet and buy something new now, even though it's not quite as good of a deal. But that said, I did get these for $83, so 62 for these. Well, this is 62 tax and everything, if I remember right. Whereas these were 83 plus tax, was like $93 shipped. Now, the reason that they're discount is because they're an off color, but not only are they an off color, there's some kind of soccer league, like European Soccer League or something. That's what that has to do with. I don't even know what it is. Don't watch soccer or football, as they call it. But yeah, otherwise they look exactly the same. Like that's literally the only thing that tells you it's some kind of special football. And they have other football ones that you can pick up, like all different colors, blue and yellow and every other color you can imagine. But I kind of liked the green. I thought that was decent looking. You make a compromise with Nike when it comes to the price. When it comes to the price versus what style you want. If you want like some kind of if you want some kind of like normal common style like black and white and stuff, those are going to be more expensive. Those are more desirable colors. But if you don't mind going with like a crazy color, or kind of an odd color or a football team associated one, then you can get a lower price. In fact, they sell the Pegasus. I saw it with a customizable thing where you can customize everything. You can make whatever colors you want with every single detail. It's really cool. But those are about $160, so about double the price what I paid, and it's the same shoe, of course. So anyway, that's pretty much it about the Nike Pegasus 39, and hopefully in about 500 kilometers, 300 miles, I'll give you an update on the 40s. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.